My name is Elizabeth Jackson Hall, and I have a present for you. It is a mod called Brynjolf and the Riften Guild, Birthright, and it is an extension of my earlier mod, Brynjolf Has Time. I address it to all of you who have so kindly followed me here for so many years. I just want to say, I finished, and you can find it on Nexus. The inspiration, of course, was that bug at the end of the Thieves Guild, where Brynjolf wouldn't give you the time of day. And I thought if only I could get him to say a couple of nice things, I could move on. And then I played Inigo, and I thought, oh my goodness, what if he could follow me? And it led to me moving from house mods to quest mods, and an incredible dip down the rabbit hole. You know, the first mod was fairly successful, at least you could speak to him. But it sort of left off in the middle of, I guess, a beginning of a relationship. And I thought there should be more. A lot of people wanted a marriage. So, well, you've got it. It's completely on his own terms. And yet this is only maybe 2/3 of the mod, because the other part is Birthright, which is Rune's story, because Bethesda left all these lovely little threads hanging. And I've taken one and I've knitted it into a giant Christmas stocking. I started this storyline on my own, but quickly contacted the famous Ruby Pelly of Following Mercer fame. Right out of the blue. I did not know her, but she so kindly agreed to collaborate and make some beautiful dungeons. And in fact, was a big inspiration for Rune's parents. I'd made his mother completely milquetoast, and she wasn't going to stand for that. And she was right. The story absolutely blossomed into this giant epic and is so much better. So I have to say thank you. I also must say thank you to Altbert, who answered my Hail Mary when I couldn't get my quests running and helped me with error fixing and TS5 edit. Couldn't have done it without you. And then I must thank Joe Cash, my friend who has been beside me doing the alpha testing all along, and especially this past year. I think we got all the bugs out. And also my dear spouse, James Hall, who did part of the alpha testing too, and his fingers. You'll see. So on the Nexus page, there is a description of all the other contributors, especially Evil Blue Koala for their beautiful music track that you can find on Nexus as well as additional music project. It's a beautiful set of alternative soundtracks for the game, and they really make that little bit of difference. I'm so grateful to them for letting me use the music. And also to my wonderful voice actors who I have listed on the Nexus page. Particularly, I want to thank Honey Glenn, who has passed away this year, and I miss her. She was my librarian when I was a child, and was my friend for so many years. She voices the shaman, Lady Mimosa, and I miss her, but I can hear her voice, and I dedicate this to her. So let us go in, and this little film is really just to show you how you start all the quests. I've tried to make it as streamlined as possible. Once you are through this, I don't want to say tedious, but it's kind of simple, kind of like, hey, where's the action kind of introduction. The business really picks up, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. With all good hope, you'll bear with any of my clunky scripting and enjoy the voice cutting, which is really, I have to say, what I feel the art is in this. All right, Brynjolf has more than 2,000 extra bits of things to say to you. So please, I hope you enjoy it. Merry Christmas. So here are our main characters, our lads.
How are things? Something I can help with, or
And
you just want to
aside
talk?
from the new assets in the cistern, it's pretty vanilla until you open your journal right here. Put it in your pocket, And it will start a myriad of quests. 3 main ones will come up visibly. You have romancing Brynjolf, Brynjolf following you, and then the start of Rune. In there is also the business of the vault with Delvin. That's under guild business. So you're going to see this when you open your journal. There's guild business, a thief at my side is the follower mod, and got time for me is the romance. Now you don't have to do the romance. It's just maybe 2/3 of the quest, but it's okay. So click on one, you'll get the indicator. So the first thing is to choose a quest. Let's do the follower. Go and talk to Brynjolf. That hood's got to come off,
Things
right?
are looking up around here, lass.
That's the first thing.
If you don't like it, lass, I can take it off.
You're all worried about being a leader?
Listen, lass, I have faith in you. I know that sounds strange coming from a thief, but these recent events have changed my perspective.
So now,
After all, Nightingales
you
need
can
to
ask
stick
him to
together.
follow you, and he'll behave like most followers.
suppose these
He's very
footpaths
stubborn
will
and he
be
won't do
alright
many
on their own,
favors.
at
But he
least for a
will
while.
carry your stuff,
Let's
and
get
he'll
going.
fight like a Dickens, and he'll wait. You can ask him to relax, this kind of thing. In that way, he's pretty good. You can take him all over the place. Yeah, you see, make sure he's following you. Yep, there he is, nice and spiffy, and he's going.
sister
You can
in crime.
actually get him
What do you
to
need?
change his clothes.
Things are
Just
looking
because I
up
like the
around here,
Nightingale
lass.
armor, but again, the hood, really,
Like the fit, eh?
seriously. So thank God.
Yes, lass.
You
If
have a
need
few
something.
choices here. And you can
If
quickly
you
get
don't
him to
like
go
it,
back to
lass,
guild.
I can take it off.
Everybody's coming along
Maybe
today.
it's time.
So, of course, if you've played the earlier Brynjolf Has Time mod, there is this great big bath, because, frankly, if you have water, why wouldn't you wash? Okay, you have to take your clothes off this way, because, frankly, everybody else takes all theirs off themselves. Why shouldn't you? Like anywhere else, as I say, you can lead him into places. You can ask him to relax. This particular one has a slightly special
Good
request,
to see you, lass. How
and
are
it's
things?
here, and then you can both sit down.
Aye, if you like.
So the thing is, you're able to lead him into various places if you want to have these conversations that happen at night,
Yes, lass. Did
and
you
they
need something?
happen, well, in this case, we're going to talk about whether there's a possibility there that you two could
Things
be
are
more
looking
than
up around
friends.
here, lass.
So, let's do that.
Good to see you, lass. How are things?
Now, here we go. This is actually that second have time for me.
Aye, lass. What's on your mind? Look, I've never been good at these things, so I'm just gonna keep it short. But if you need anything, anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. Well, I guess we could go, if you really want to. I was starting to enjoy your
So the
company.
thing is, nothing is going to happen to further the romance quest here until you do the vanilla gesture of putting on an amulet of Mara. When you go and speak to him with that amulet on, he will react. Perhaps not as favorably as most of Skyrim's denizens, but it will start the romance arc. If you're familiar with Brynjolf Has Time, you'll see that I have vastly improved in my voice cutting, actually. And he says things so much more naturally. There's the amulet.
Hey.
You don't have to do this, but I think a lot of us are here for this, right? So we're going to take Brynjolf to somewhere a little private, and this is actually where the follower function really comes in, because you can take him and actually speak to him while he's still in follower mode in some attractive location. Oh, like this dark, dank little back room. And this will begin a really quite a sizable quest that has a substantial amount of character development for Brynjolf, and he needs it, right?
Good to see you, lass. How are things? What is it with you and this odd symbol? Is that what you're hoping for? Can you imagine me with a soft spot for family? I'm the devout follower of Dibella, if you catch my meaning. I could take a hint, lass. You're quite the prize. Remember, Helga, you could steal the statue to the divine that she keeps at the bunkhouse. Do this right, and we'll call it our sweetest deal. Things are looking up around here, lass. I'll be down here. If you need anything,
Right,
don't
so there we
hesitate to
are.
ask.
That, now you can go and pursue the romantic end of things by first stealing Dibella from Helga, and that's just good anyway. But first, and you can see this quest, Got Time for Me, has now progressed to steal Helga's statue. So, you know, you can use the quest markers or not, it's fine. But we should do the guild business, because we got to, you know, do our job too, right? It's not all pleasure. So our first thing is to speak to Delvin. This starts up the ability to open the vault.
You're Brynjolf's new protege, eh? Don't look like much.
Looking for work? Of course.
Now, you can
All
either
you
leave
need
it
to do
there
is
or
ask.
and go and talk to Veckel, right? Or you can actually get this business over and done with, and you'll see, just, this is really for your own immersion.
Sure.
Because of
no
course the
problem.
vault remained empty and open, it made no sense. A lot of very good mods, like Opulent Thieves and such, really try to address this. Now unfortunately, because I added all this in my mod, they don't play nicely together, because I've got a whole mechanism for filling the vault as well. So sadly, it'll be a kind of a choose one or the other. But if you, for example, I really actually had a feeling that you should be doing this with Ruby Pelly's Following Mercer, which you can find on Nexus. It's such an excellent mod. It's one of those that I replay
This
over and
guild needs the
over
coin.
myself,
Walking away
because
without
I
taking
enjoy the,
work is not gonna make you popular around here.
they're inventive, creative dungeons. And they have lots and lots of loot. And a lot of that loot you can bring back and literally fill up the dungeon. So think of it as kind of like these mods are kind of meant to work together. Now it takes the two of you to open the vault.
But we could really use some change in here, if you know what I mean, boss. Of
And actually, if you
course.
speak to both Delvin
Things back the way
and
they
Brynjolf,
were.
they will react. Now, there's a test chest here. It's ridiculous. It's just, I will take it out after the beta. But it's full of everything you need in order to make the entire display. So, you know, for those of you who hate test chests, as I say, I will remove it eventually. It's just, you know, testing still. But yes, you just use it like any workbench, and you build. Here you are. And then what will happen is that you can then go over, see the chest filled, very pretty. And what's more is you can get those things out of it if you want. I mean, if you had, you know, if this is your hard-earned coin, feel free to get it back. Now, to lock the doors, it isn't just touching the key. No, you have to close the doors. It's important. They won't lock unless they're closed. So close the doors, then take the key and lock the door. And now, yes, it's locked. You can't get in either. And Delvin will now be required for you to get in again. And that's fine. So now, it's time to speak with Veckel. Speaking with Veckel starts Birthright.
Something I can help
And we
with,
remember
or do you just
here.
wanna talk? My sister in crime. What do you need? My father told me he found me as a young boy. in the wreckage of a ship that sank off of the coast near Solitude. All he found in my pocket was a tiny smooth stone inscribed with some sort of strange runes. No one does. I've even taken the damn thing to the College of Winterhold. I must have spent every last coin I've made with the guild trying to find out what it means. Perhaps they could be nonsense, inane scribbles done by someone in idle boredom. But if not, if they actually mean something, they might tell me where I'm from, what ship I was on, everything. Actually, the fisherman who found me, the man I call my father, gave it to me. Thought it was fitting, I suppose. I never changed it because it never felt right to do so. I appreciate that.
So this is the premise for this
Keep to the
quest
shadows.
suggestion that was never, I feel, worked on, that it was intended that there would have been a storyline here. So I took it upon myself to finish it, because I like Rune. And much as Brynjolf's refusal to speak to you with that bug inspired the Brynjolf Has Time mod, original mod, and the romance quest that goes with it. So let us find Veckel. And he has an important little something for you.
It's one thing to say you've got the
bastard.
skills to be a thief. It's another to actually use them. Here, take a look at this. One of the boys came by and left this note. I think it's
And there
for
we
Rune.
are. This starts Birthright. That last prompt, any other messages, it's important. If you leave it, you'll have a chance to go over, grab this necklace. This is completely for anybody interested in the beta testing. You take it and you put it on. When you put it on and you talk to Veckel, he will have a ridiculous list of prompts. Now, they are a little nonsensical, perhaps, at the moment,
It's
but
been a
they
long time
begin
since anyone
all of
joined
the
us.
other quests
Seems like people are
in
a
the
rush to leave.
mod. And this is partly it's if someone gets stuck, and partly for testing. You can completely ignore it if you don't wear the necklace, or you never pick up the necklace, as you can see.
Time.
Then you can just instead just
I
do
hear
any other
even the
messages,
simple jobs are becoming difficult.
and
It never used
that
to be like this.
guild business
No,
quest
think
will
this
now
is
be
all
off
there
your
is
list
for
and
now.
complete, and it won't be on your, your board. And we all like that. We're all trying to clear our board, right? So there we go. That's just if you wondered what these, if you happened upon these things and wondered what they were. They're not important if you just want to play the mod. It's just part of, it's considered a kind of test chest. So now you go and find Rune, and this is the beginning of the quest.
Something. My sister in crime. What do you need? Oh, yes? Let's see it. It seems that way. I'm a little disappointed, you know? I guess so. I'm just worried I'll never find out what it means. Would you do that for me? That would be amazing. Perhaps you could speak to my father. Such a sweet old man. I'm sure you'll get along. Do you want me to come with you? All right, we'll travel together. Just take the best way to the lighthouse. The one off the coast near Solitude. I'll lead from there. Oh no, my father knows everything about the Thieves Guild. I'm right
And so
behind.
it begins. The first thing, of course, is that you have to journey to the Solitude Lighthouse, and you can jump whatever way. And if you've, of course, if you've gone through the Thieves Guild quest, which you will have, because you have to have finished Darkness Returns, probably should have said that at the beginning, you'll wind up at Brynyolf Grotto. because here you are on the edge of the Sea of Ghosts.
My sister in crime. What do you
It
need?
is lots
Keep
of
to the
interesting,
shadow.
brisk business, really, from here on in. So I do hope you'll enjoy the fights and a couple of puzzles and exciting dungeons, and all of the gameplay and all of the character development. There's a very, I think, really interesting story that has to do with Rune and where he came from. He's a very interesting character. All right, thank you so very, very much. I thank you for listening to me, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas.